Hello, everyone. My name is Brittany, and I just want to say welcome back to the Success is a Mindset series. Tonight, I am going to be discussing how I got through uh, smoking, basically, and give you some tips on how you can quit smoking for good, forever. And I'm that type of person that's been there, so if you're thinking, oh my God, she's going to give me a bunch of textbooks, tips, or whatever. I'm not going to do that because that's not how I quit. And that's not how I know that this time out of like 8 times, like I several times, I don't know if it was 8 times, but I had tried to quit smoking several times over and I was not successful because I ended up always going back for whatever reason. Matter of fact, I discovered the reason. And so actually that's what helped me to figure out how to stop smoking for good. So what I want to say is basically whatever you focus on, first of all, if you're trying to quit, don't focus on the fact that you need to quit. You're trying to stop quit. I need to not do this and I'm not going to do that and I'm not going to do this. Think about everything that you want to do, everything that smoking has ever stopped you from accomplishing in your life. Think about that first and then start thinking about everything you want to do now that you're not smoking. Because what I was thinking about is I want to get out of this trick bag because I done got in this trick bag for like, how many times over have I been in the same situation where I'm smoking again and it's taking away my life? You know what I mean? Like it's taking away valuable and precious time that I could be spending doing something else, obtaining my goals. Like this is like my written goals right here that I have. But anyways, I rewrote it and everything because I read that religiously every day. And what that ends up doing is like when you have goals and then you write them down and you read them every day, and it says in there, listen, I don't even have anything in there that says that I'm not a smoker, that I'm a non-smoker or anything like that, because I don't need anything in there like that that says that I don't smoke anymore. I'm sure of who I am and what I want to be. So if you're just now joining, because I noticed somebody just joined in, welcome. I'm just giving tips and giving my advice and my story about how I quit smoking and why this time is going to be different from every other time that I've tried to quit smoking, because I figured out what it is. For one, I was using smoking as a crutch. Every time something bad happens in my life, every time, you break up with somebody or you lose your job or whatever happens, you always go back to this particular thing. I'm not a drinker. I just don't throw them back. I kind of babysit my drinks. So I'm really not a drinker. I'm not I don't like to do any other kind of crazy drugs. I don't pop pills. I'm not, I don't do stuff like that. I really just tend to, the only thing that I've ever done that I really enjoyed really was smoking. And so I would just go back to that because that's what I knew could soothe me or what I thought would soothe me. It's just like a baby though, when they, are trying to soothe themselves or they're crying and then they suck their thumb or they have that pacifier. It's the same concept. I'm going to take this cigarette because I feel like this cigarette's going to calm me down. But in all actuality, the cigarette itself ends up causing the anxiety that keeps me stuck in that same place over and over and over again. So I don't want to be in that place anymore. I don't want to continue to be smoking up a storm or whatever. I want to get out of that and I want to help other people do the same thing. My whole mission with this channel as me being an entrepreneur and a reseller is just to help other people gain independence and realize that, their self actualization, just where they want to be in life, just where their true self. I want everybody to get that. And so I feel like at this point, I'm starting to finally be my true self. I'm coming into that. And then I want to help other people do the same thing. Same thing with being mentally aware of what's going on around you, mentally stable. Your mind has to be right. So in order to quit smoking, you just have to be in a certain space and like learn techniques to help you when you have those cravings. So the first 3 days, it's just like what everybody else says. The first 3 days is pretty difficult. But then after you get through the first 3 days, you're good to go. You will not have any other issues after those first 3 days are over. you're good. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say, and the cravings get lighter and lighter. But here's something to look out for in those first 3 days that might trip you out. Like, well, you'll automatically start like getting your sense of smell obviously gets stronger again. You can actually smell a lot better. You smell a lot better because you're not smoking. But, but your sense of smell gets to be a lot better. Your sense of taste, like you can taste foods, and foods taste so much better when you're not smoking. And you can breathe a lot better. So like my workouts and everything, because I work out almost every day, is a heck of a lot better than what it was, back when I was smoking. My lungs was clogged up. I could barely breathe. It was just no way to live. You know what I mean? So if you are really on a path to try to quit, I urge you to choose your health. And when you're thinking about it, don't think about not quitting. Think about how you really, just want to do, think about your vision. Think about what you really want to do in life. Think about where you want to go. And like I said, when I was thinking about quitting, they say make a list of all the things that you aren't able to do or that it stops you from doing. But I don't like to focus on the negative. I like to focus on the good. So now that I'm not doing that, now I can do this. Now I can do that. And so I start doing some of those things. And that's where my fulfillment came from. But taking deep breaths and taking walks and things like that, those are things like even just a nice warm shower for me, not super hot, but just like a nice shower is relaxing. Some candles. Like right now I'm listening to jazz music. Jazz music is relaxing to me. That's why I like listening to it. So anyway, I don't know. I just wanted to tell my story, as I hope that it'll help somebody else in their journey as well. Also just wanted to say, basically, if you're trying to quit and it's like, if you've done it several times, the number one thing that I'm going to suggest that you do, my friend, is, and this is for you to quit for good. So this is the little secret, y'all ready? The secret is just to commit. You really have to be committed to what you said you wanted to do. If you say you want to quit and that's the way you want to be committed to that. So therefore, whenever you have those circumstances, because what I did was I looked back and I said, well, what has me continuing to go back? What has me continuing to do this over and over and over again? Like you will quit and then you will go back. You quit and then you go back. You quit and you go back. What causes you to go back? If you figure out what causes you to do that in the first place and figure out an action plan for when those types of situations happen, because they're pretty much similar. Like I said, I would, maybe a breakup or, something serious like you lost your job or something along those lines, something that's pretty serious, that's not just light, that happened. Maybe somebody passes away or something like that. But you got to think, if that person passed away, you don't want to be passing away as well anytime soon. There's people that are here that need you. So please, if you are thinking about, don't even think about, doing anything like that. I would never, I've never thought about, I think, killing myself, but I'm just saying, just in case there's somebody out there that is thinking about that, there's so much more to life. There's just so much more for you that you probably haven't even seen yet. And I know that not everybody is spiritual, but one of the things that I'm going to start doing now that I'm committed to quitting is to reach out to God first. And that's first. Like for me, that's just my spiritual. That's where I'm at. I understand that not everybody is spiritual, and that's okay. You don't have to be spiritual. I'm just giving you the advice and telling you my story and what helped me. And like how I started smoking in the first place, it's crazy. There was no peer pressure. I decided to do that all on my own. I worked at a gas station and I was in high school, and I started right around about 17, 18 years old. And then and I was just doing it every once in a while. Like I got a pack of cigarettes and every once in a while just go outside and smoke, and it kind of gave me a little buzz, and and that was it. And it really didn't mean much. I really wasn't addicted at that point, because I would only do that really like once every 2-3 weeks, maybe something like that. And then when I moved to Georgia, I started working at a restaurant, and a lot of the people at the restaurant, they smoked. they either smoke weed or they drunk or they did whatever they did. And I felt like I was the only person that really wasn't doing anything. So, I was the only person. I felt left out. Everybody was laughing and kikiing about whatever was funny or whatever. And I just felt left out. So I was like, okay, well, I got to do something. So I believe it started off with the cigarettes, and then I stacked that on. At some point, I did smoke weed because I wanted to know what was so funny. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to know what was going on. And that went on for just a little while, for like maybe a couple years while I lived in Georgia, 2-3 years. And then finally I decided I'm not even doing anything. I want to go to college. I have to do something with my life. So then I finally left Georgia, moved. And when I moved, that's when I quit. I just quit. I continued to smoke cigarettes, but I I really wasn't smoking weed because it was never something that I really wanted to do. It was easy to let go. And I know for some people it's just like that, like it was really nothing to me. It was all recreational. It was something that I enjoyed doing with my friends or with other people. But anyway, so that's kind of just a little bit of my story. Then I finally, I tried to quit, yes, several times in there. It would be 2 or 3 weeks or a week or something like that. But like I said, the thing that drew me back to that was just that same type of circumstance. So if you can get over that circumstance, whatever that is that draws you back in, you have to figure out what it is for you. Because what it is for me and what it is for you might be 2 different things. The smoking situation for you might be that you smoke whenever certain things happen to you, and everybody's doing it for a certain reason. A lot of people believe that it relieves stress, but the cigarette itself actually is the reason why you're so stressed out. If you think about it, it's causing you to need another cigarette. You smoke one cigarette, and then that one cigarette makes you need to have another cigarette. So now when I'm thinking about, like, if you're quit, and if you're in the middle of quitting right now and you're like not smoking, my suggestion to you would be really to stop and pull out all stops. Pull out all of your lifelines, like call a friend, like I said, pray about it, do that first, because God usually has the answer first before anybody else. So if you don't believe in that though, call a friend. And then the next thing I would do, maybe if you do have a list of reasons why you wanted to quit, maybe it was your daughter, maybe it's your kids, maybe you have COPD, or you have some kind of drug or pressing health issue, or maybe you don't have anything at all. You just don't want to ever have anything like that. And that's understandable too. If I was you, you know what I mean? Like, I would, think about some of those things when you get ready to start back, but make the commitment to not ever have another one. Because if you have one, you got to look at that one like a domino effect. If you have the one, then you're going to have another one, and then you're going to have another one. It's like you have to see all those cigarettes like the dominoes lined up. You have to see all of them, and what's going to end up happening is you're just going to end up having one, and then you're just going to have another one. Because every time I thought that, I was quit, and then, and it wasn't even cigarettes. Like, this last time, I actually thought that, because for the last 3 times that I quit, it was Black and Milds. It wasn't even cigarettes. I told myself when I distinguished that cigarette, it was right after I read Alan Carr's, or no, I didn't read the book. I actually ended up looking at a YouTube video, but it was Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Smoking. And basically what it does is it lets you know that it really, or allows you to, through reading the material, it's letting you know that there is no benefits to smoking. Basically, it just rules all of that out, because like I said, the cigarette that you just had is causing you to need another cigarette and another one. That's causing you to have to go to the store. You have to spend money. For me, I'm buying Red Bulls. I'm buying energy drinks. I'm buying something to drink because my mouth is always dry, and it's always dry. I mean, I could drink 2 or 3 of these a day. And, when I was smoking, and I'm still going to be thirsty because it takes away the saliva, the natural saliva that's in your mouth. And so I just didn't want to be in that situation anymore. And it causes me to get off track with my work. You thinking it's helping you with your work, but I can tell you right now, sis, it's getting you off track with your work. It's not, don't let smoking, don't let the illusion, cause you to think that you're actually doing something good. I can promise you that it's not good for you. It's not good for your health. It's not where you want to be. But my strongest thing, like I said right now to you, like my best advice is just to commit to not ever doing it again. You just have to commit. And then those things that cause you to get off track, whatever it is, you have to create diversions, you know? Because one thing I like to do, I like to play. Sometimes when you're having a craving, there's some games that I like to play on my phone, like a matching game, or you could play like Candy Crush is a matching game, or whatever your favorite game is. Like I like to do like Words with Friends, stuff like that. Like some kind of game that's not even. It's still giving you a break in a sense, but then you're getting that feel good hormone when you win. And so that's the thing that helped me, even with the cigarettes too, the first time around when it wasn't Black and Milds. But the Black and Milds to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, seemed like it was easier for me to quit those, even though one Black and Mild is probably like 10 cigarettes or something. It's ridiculous. But yeah, everybody already knows that, you know, like the smoking, it's your teeth, it's your gums, it's your breath. You know, you're out of breath. When you work out, you don't have a whole lot of, I don't know, energy. You just, you know, we all know that it's just not good for you. That's why I didn't go into the health effects. We all know how negatively it can affect you when it comes to your health. But I'm talking about your mental health too and what it's putting you through, because you know you're doing something. Like you got to think about it. If you're thinking about, I don't want to do this. This is something that I don't want to do. And every time you do it, you start feeling bad about it. Like every time I would start back smoking, I feel bad about it. So clearly it's something that I don't need to do. Think about it, guys. I mean, if you're in that situation, then it's probably not something you can do, because I used to make up the excuse, well, everybody has a vice. Everybody has something that they do that just probably ain't healthy for them. Yeah, it's true, but it's still just making an excuse to stay in that position because you're addicted. You're addicted, sis. You know, so don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't be like me. That's all I can say. Just make the decision and stick with it. And then another thing that I used to tell myself, especially when I first quit smoking cigarettes, another tip whenever I would have a craving, I would say, are you dying, Brittany? I would literally ask myself that, are you dying? We're not dying, then we're okay. We can get through this and we can do this along with everything else that we've ever done in our lives that's hard. Think about something hard that you had to go through and how you got through that. What did you do with that situation? Something else. Maybe that might help you figure out how to navigate through not smoking. But I'm a strong advocate of just quitting. You know, if you can like go down to like 1 or 2 cigarettes a day or something like that, if you're doing cigarettes, even weed or whatever, if you can decrease first, that is going to help because it won't hit you as strong when you quit. So like if you were smoking a pack of cigarettes and then you quit, it is going to hit you a little bit stronger. Those first 3 days are going to be more difficult than if you were to go down gradually and then do it. So that's my suggestion. But anyway, I don't really have anything else to say about the smoking. I'm not sure if this topic was just something that nobody hardly deals with because I didn't really have anybody show up. This is a live, and I really only had like a couple people come through, and I don't know, but I do hope that this video helps somebody. That is my story, you know, and if it only helps one person, then I'm happy with that. My name is Brittany Allbossedup on IG. If you want to reach out to me on there, if you're trying to quit and you need some tips or you just need somebody to talk to, quit, sis, and call me or, you know, like DM me or whatever. You don't have to call me, but just DM me. And then if you feel like it's necessary, we could have a phone conversation. I just genuinely want to help everybody do better and have a better mental state of mind. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what's going to help us get through our days and nights. So I do want to thank everybody that is watching this. And everybody, I hope that it helps you, that it blesses you. I really do. And just remember, please remember to stay committed to your decision. Stick to your decision, and I promise you your life is going to be better. When you have a craving, pray. Take some deep breaths. Be proud of yourself. Another thing that I didn't mention, get an app. The apps help you because you can calculate how much money you would have spent, how much time you would have spent, smoking and all of that, the time, and it keeps track of all of that for you. And then, you get like, congratulations, you're 30 days smoke free, or you're, and your heart is this, and, it's telling you all of your health benefits and all of that. And sometimes just that reward, it just makes you feel good inside. So that's something that you want to think about, and just things that make you feel good. Think about those things, and that's what you're going to do when you have those cravings. So thank you very much for tuning in. I definitely appreciate it. And if you like content like this, please do hit the subscribe and make sure you like this video on your way out, because it definitely helps me be able to make more videos like this and more content coming your way. Thank you so much. Have a good night.